Welcome to the Callisto Brand Big Change podcast. This is season 4, where we are focusing on women in credit. And it is my honor to introduce you to my guest today, Tamsin Hoborough, Vice President of the Finance Shared Services of the Coca-Cola Europacific Partners. Welcome, and thank you for accepting my invitation.
Thank you for inviting me.
I will dive into it. So could you please tell me a little bit about your background?
Yeah, so I started with an engineering degree at university. I went to Imperial College in London, and I was sponsored through that by British Airways Engineering, which was a really great experience. But I graduated at a time when engineering companies were restructuring and flattening their structure. So I was looking for different opportunities, and ended up then at Deloitte, working in tax. Stayed with them for 5 years, qualified as both chartered accountant and chartered tax advisor, and worked with some great clients while I was there. But I knew I wanted to bring the sort of engineering and the accounting and tax knowledge together, and so took the great opportunity to move to what was then Coca-Cola Enterprises and now Coca-Cola Europacific Partners, to be their in-house tax manager. And then I've worked my way up through the organisation in a mixture of tax and accounting roles at UK, European and group level. And then 6 years ago, I took the decision to move to our finance shared service organisation based in Bulgaria, Sofia. And while I've been here, I spent a couple of years leading our source to pay team, then moved to set up our customer to cash organisation before then taking over as lead of the shared service centre.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Was it a cautious decision to jump into the finance profession?
I don't know if cautious is the right word, but certainly it was one I'd seen that in engineering. I was quite ambitious, and in engineering I'd seen that sort of flattening of the organisation. And in my final placement, my supervisor got his 25 years service award, and I just felt I don't want to be doing that same role in 25 years' time. I wanted something that gave me more development opportunities, more progression opportunities, but also gave me the opportunity to work with different organizations, different industries, and move around a little bit more, maybe even with the international exposure. And so that when I spoke to various sort of friends and colleagues, and including sort of people that had graduated recently, I felt that the sort of accounting firms and the finance opportunities there were going to meet what I needed. Whilst at the same time, tax was a good balance for me of having some stable team members that you work with all the time, and other team members that you get to know fresh.
Yeah, it's a wonderful opportunity to have. I think meeting new people is one of the greatest opportunities of working in a shared service environment. So it's really good. And do you have anything in particular that you enjoy most times of your job?
I think the thing I enjoy the most, which I didn't realize back when I was doing tax roles, but since I've moved to shared services, I really enjoy the people side of things, and seeing people develop and helping them find those opportunities, helping them find their goals and ambitions, and helping them develop and see them grow and move through their career path through the organization. That's really satisfying. So I like coaching and mentoring and really supporting the team.
You've been with Coca-Cola for 18 years, is that correct?
Yep.
And your team is about 400 people. Is that also correct?
No, I've got more like between 700 and 800 now. We've grown rapidly. I obviously need to update my LinkedIn profile.
Wow. That's a nice job to have. That's a lot of people to inspire on a daily basis. Yes. So what keeps you motivated?
For me, I like the fact that my role is different every day. I like the mixture, obviously, the people side of things, but I also like the challenge. I like the change. We've been in a sort of constant growth mode, so we're always taking on new activity. We're looking to improve all the time. So that sort of constant change is something that really motivates me. And the challenge to find solutions and not to be problem focused, but solution focused, and help the team and support them that way.
And obviously being in a senior position in the company must be very demanding. So how do you handle your work-life balance?
So I'm in Bulgaria with my family. I'm married with 3 children. Oh. I've got all girls. So I've got a 14-year-old, which is of course challenging, as all teenagers are. And then I have 8-year-old twins. So for me, I think that it's more about work-life integration than work-life balance. Balance seems to sort of suggest that there's some magic kind of 50-50 point, and I don't think it works like that. I think at different points in your career, the balance is more in favor of one or the other, and different people make different choices at different times. So as I say, for me, it's more like integration, and so that I can work flexibly when I need to. So if there's a concert at the school, I can go to that and then pick up some of my working life again a bit after that. And so it's really fitting in and prioritizing the right things for your life alongside your work priorities, and sometimes your family priorities are top of the list, and sometimes work are, but it varies on a sort of day-to-day, hour by hour basis.
Yes,
that's how it works for me.
Yeah, it's good that you can find the kind of 50-50. It's really, really nice. And on your way, through your way to the company, did you have any male employees or colleagues who by you felt threatened or underestimated?
I think there's I could probably pick lots of examples where I think women are underestimated in the workplace, especially with that engineering background is very, very common there. But I think you do see it often. I don't think it's held me back at any point, and in some cases it's actually helped me make the leap that I needed to. So if I looked to one example, I was looking to broaden out my experience outside of the tax team and looking at other finance roles, and there was one I was looking at that was managing a larger team than I'd managed before, and the line manager for that role kind of coached me against going for it. He felt it was too big a team and too big a challenge and too difficult a group of stakeholders for me. And I took that away, and I felt I didn't agree with him, but I felt if that was his view, I didn't want to work for him. So I didn't go for that position at that time, but not very long after, I had the opportunity to take the role in the shared service centre, which was an even bigger team, an even bigger challenge, because we had some performance challenges and engagement challenges in the team at that time. And there was definitely a part of me that was like, I'm going to prove him wrong and show that I can make a success of managing a big team. And from then I've just moved to bigger and bigger roles. So thank you to him for giving me that push I needed to take a leap that I might not otherwise have done.
Exactly. It's interesting to see in many personal lives also that maybe that what we fear the most, just somebody tells you not to do it and you get your head wrapped around it. I'm going to prove you wrong, and it takes you to wonderful places. Congratulations from here as well for showing him wrong.
Yeah, for me, if you can trigger that competitive nature, then it's always going to make a difference.
Exactly. So we talked about your work-life balance, but we didn't talk about, at the end of the day, how do you blow off steam, the stress that gathers on a daily basis. I'm sure it must be overwhelming at times. So what is your kind of Zen relaxation?
So firstly, I normally try and take some time to transition out of work and into home. So in a normal situation, when you're in the office, and I'm lucky to even be able to be in the office some of the time right now, that drive home is part of my clearing my head and putting work to one side. And obviously over the last year, that's been a bit different, and you've not always had that luxury. But what I try and do is I have a space for that is my work space, and keep that separate, so I can shut the lid on the laptop, and that puts work to one side. Sometimes I pick up and come back to it later on, but it's then trying to work out where are those boundaries, and everyone has boundaries in different places, but where are your boundaries, and what time are you going to set aside for doing something different? And I think kids are a great way of adjusting. They want your focused attention, and they're always doing something different. And so that's the main way I relax and let off steam, is to spend time with my kids.
And kids also always make you smile. So at the end of the day, you will always have a smile on your face, which is really nice to have. And do you have anything in your professional career that you're most proud of? Maybe a favorite project that you did?
I think that there's lots of great projects that I've done over the years, but I think probably the thing I'm most proud of right now is how well myself and the leadership team have pulled together, and how the whole team has reacted to the global pandemic, and the speed with which we were able to move to remote working, and how successfully that is continuing to go, and how well connected and engaged we've managed to stay, making use of technology, and keeping everybody safe. So we have had some COVID cases within the team, but not many, considering the size of the team and the potential there. So I think that's probably at the moment what I would say I'm most proud of. And the next thing will be how to find that new ways of working and the right balance going forward in that sort of hybrid of office and home working that we would expect to move to soon.
Did you miss the office? Are you 50-50 home office, or what's the ratio right now?
So at the moment in Bulgaria, an employer is required to promote home working wherever possible. We're allowed to have up to 50% of people in the office, but because we were working very effectively remotely, we've got most people working from home right now, although the office has remained technically open throughout. And myself and the leadership team all spend 2 or 3 days a week in the office, so that if people are in, they feel safe, they feel they're supported by the leadership team as well. So at the moment, I think we have around sort of 20% of people come in, but it varies day to day, and hopefully over the summer that will increase a little bit more.
Let's hope so. I know that people are very keen to physically meet each other right now. It's been a long time that we've been locked in, so it's going to take them some time to socialize again, but I know that everybody's looking forward to it. Speaking of employees, could you tell me what is the female to male ratio in numbers of employees or percent of employees at the company?
So in Bulgaria, we're quite fortunate actually to have the opposite gender balance to in most of our markets, and we actually are around 65% female to 35% male, and even in management positions, we're still more female than male, which is great. My CFO is very, very happy with our contribution to the finance metrics.
I'm sure he is. Do you have any kind of special community for the female employees, or?
Yeah, so not quite so much in Bulgaria because of our gender balance, but as a group, we definitely do.
Mm-hmm.
We have a women in leadership program across the whole organisation, with different initiatives at different levels, and we also have communities in each of our territories that support that women in leadership agenda as well, but not just focusing on women, also focusing on how men can support and empower women as well. And that's now part of our broader inclusion and diversity agenda, where we focus not just on gender, but also on disability, on culture and heritage, on multi-generation, and also on LGBT+.
These are all very hot subjects right now, so it's wonderful that you're doing so many projects with all of these segments of the employees. Going through your experience, I'm sure you felt like the 18-year-old self would need a knock on the head. So if you could do something differently, what advice would you give to your 18-year-old self?
I'm quite a big introvert and quite self-critical as well, and probably was even more so back at that age. So I think what I would tell myself is to dream big, and not to be afraid to take risks, and to take those leaps of faith. I think even when a choice you make proves to be a tough time, I found I never regret that choice because you always learn something from it. So rather than avoid the difficult decision, make the decision, take the choice, and go for it, and commit fully to it.
Yeah, I agree. And something great can turn out of that. You can never know where your dreams will take you. Maybe that's what you've been looking for 30 years. Who knows?
Exactly.
Sometimes you must take a leap of faith. As we're coming to the end of the interview, I would like to ask one of my final questions, which is related to the company. So we know that Coca-Cola is one of the world's biggest brands, and not only because of that, but because of various initiatives, you are very cautious about sustainability. So I would like to ask if there has been any recent initiatives to reduce the impact of climate change.
Yeah, so as Coca-Cola Europacific partners, as the bottler in Western Europe, we take sustainability very seriously and see it part of our core responsibility to drive the industry in the right direction there. So for a number of years, we've had a joint This Is Forward program with the Coca-Cola company, where we focus on packaging and sugar, and water, climate, carbon. And we last year, during the pandemic, actually announced that we were toughening all our targets to make them tougher on ourselves, and shortening the time period that we wanted to deliver those targets in, and also launching a net zero carbon ambition across our scope 1, 2, and 3 emissions. So really trying to be out there as a leader in the industry of driving that climate and sustainability agenda. And we have lots of initiatives in each of those areas. We're also one of the first organisations to make sustainability part of our long-term incentive plan targets. So we're all as a leadership team committed and partly remunerated based on our ability to meet those ambitious targets. And so yes, I think we appreciate that we have an important role to play, particularly around the packaging agenda, and are really taking seriously that responsibility to drive change going forward, not just for what we do, but driving the industry and our suppliers as well.
Yes, I think these are all great initiatives, and I think that you're doing a great job with it. You're not only inspiring other companies, but also individuals to be more cautious about their environment at home. So I think that's something that everybody can support and back up. And I hope that you will achieve your long-term goals. So my final question of the interview would be, what are your personal and professional hopes and dreams, goals, aspirations for the next 5 years?
So I guess over the next 5 years, firstly, personally, my kids are going to grow quite a lot in that 5 year time. My eldest will be off to university in 5 years' time. So I hope she gets the university and the course that she wants, even if she doesn't know what it is right now. And my little two will be in high school by then. So yeah, I hope that they are still fit, healthy, safe, and continuing along their ambitious journeys. And for myself, I'm one of those people, I don't necessarily have a sort of fixed career point in mind. I look to try and do the best that I can, be the best I can be from a performance perspective, be the best I can be from a person perspective, and support people. And so I'm always looking at how can I improve, how can I do more, and really look at opportunities as they arise, particularly as you get more senior. You might have a preferred role, but that might not come up for 30 years. So you have to be sort of open-minded. So I'm looking to continue to grow and develop and progress. Maybe move further up the hierarchy, who knows? But really, it's about feeling comfortable in myself, that I have the challenge and the development opportunities that I need to stay motivated.
Thank you very much for answering my questions today. It was a wonderful interview. Thank you for joining me. I hope you also had a good time, and I wish you all the best for the future.
Thanks, Esther. It was really great talking to you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.